Breaker 19, you're tuning in only for trucks. Come on back, brother. Please subscribe, brother.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. I'm finally back here in the yard. Luckily you guys are here with me. So today I have a lot going on. I'm going to be working on the Mack, but I had to get some stuff off this compressor because ours is giving us an issue with the carburetor, and I have a pretty good feeling the float's stuck or something's wrong with the bowl. It's just pouring fuel out and it doesn't want to get started, so I'm assuming it's flooded. So we had this one laying around. It's the same model and everything, so I pulled the carburetor over this one, but the only downfall is this compressor was flooded like underwater. Like we had a bad flood a year or two ago, and this thing was fully submerged. And I wasn't really aware, but it was just left there. So as I'm taking it apart, water's pouring out of the intake, and I'm sure the oil pan's full of water. It's just a mess. So I'm gonna just clean this carburetor and maybe take that one apart that's on our current compressor and see what I can come up with. But I'm not sure about that. But either way, that's not what we're here for, right? We are here for the Mack and the low bed and the other trucks, and there's a lot going on. So I guess we're gonna get right into the Mack. I'll show you guys what we have so far. I know there's some things you guys missed along the way, but it was just, I had a lot going on. I wasn't really filming, and then some things happened when I wasn't here, and it was a lot. But here we are. There she is. So let's give you guys a look. To try to fill you guys in on what's going on here. So we stripped the truck, you guys knew that much. We were sandblasting it, getting it ready for paint, everything else. So we got it sandblasted, then we had some rain coming, so it was a rush to prime it. And then we finally got it primed, and between the mess of the sandblasting and everything else, it was just a terrible process, and we were learning as we went. You know, we've never done something exactly like this before, not a full kind of strip and restoration paint job kind of thing, nor are we professionals. So we're learning as we go, and it's a lot. But either way, we got it stripped, we got it primed, and then we painted the frame. We went with a gloss black, and we used this like Euro Clear. It's like very shiny. So I don't know if you guys can see it in the little stuff I just gave you, but it's dirty as we speak, but it's just very glossy. Like everything is super shiny, which is cool. It's beautiful. The original game plan was to paint the cab black as well. My boss's company colors are red and black. I'm not against them, I like them. So the game plan was black on black with red accents. And then we had an issue during the paint process, and we kind of didn't realize that we didn't seal the cab, and different things happened, and then there was more Bondo to be done. So we stopped, and then we decided like we weren't gonna paint the cab black. So a little bit of change of plans. We're gonna go with a red cab now. So how this is gonna go down is it's currently Wednesday the 7th, and another big thing is this weekend, I'm gonna fly out to Reno, Nevada for the Antique, Truck Historical Society, the international show. And my dad's already out there. He drove his cab over Mack from here in Philadelphia, and he already bobtailed on out there. He's been running the last couple days, and he's out there now. He's already at the show. He was asking me to go, and I was turning it down, and I got a lot going on and different things, but finally, I just agreed, like, you know what, it's once in a lifetime. Me and my dad can spend some good time together. And it's great for you guys as well. So off I go on Friday morning. I'll be driving home with him, so that's gonna be interesting. But with that being said, the point of that is getting this thing done in 2 weeks for Makunji is gonna be tough. I really wanted to get it done. There's a lot of things going on currently in life and work and everything else, so it kind of is what it is. Not saying it's not going. We're gonna try our best to get it done. I'm gonna be putting in extra hours, especially next week, and I'm gonna see if we can't get this thing done. So once it gets, I have to sand it, do a little body work, and then I'm gonna prime it and seal it, and then the painter will come and paint the cabin hood, which, just to give you guys another idea here, as you saw in pictures and other things, that is where the hood is. So it's kind of palletized, if you will. That way we could always just pick it up and move it. And the game plan is to have the painter just be able to paint that stuff, and then I'll assemble the truck. So just for immediate, just to be able to drive it around the yard, I got the wheels on it, and I got the passenger side fuel tank on. It's all hooked up. But the driver side fuel tank, we're gonna turn into a hydraulic tank for the PTO setup. So, like I said, this tank's hooked up, and it's currently working. I'm gonna put some fuel in it today and see if I can't fire this thing up and move it across the yard. We're taking off these air tanks. The original game plan was to change them because we don't like the look of all them valves and all that extra stuff. So we were going to change them, but with the time and everything else, we figured we'll wait on that, so that could happen later. So for temporarily, those tanks are gonna be on there. It just is what it is. And kind of also something else getting put to the wayside is the aluminum polishing. Like, just kind of rubbed it quick, but it's not polished, it's not done. But if we want this thing to get to McCungie, that's the only way it's going. Something you guys may have already seen it. If you didn't, I'm just gonna address it now so we get out of the way. The air dryer, we did take it from outside the frame and bring it inside to try to clean up the outside of the frame rail. But I understand that this thing might not do its job properly on its side because the water will sit there and everything else. We did do the same thing on the blue truck, and it hasn't given us an issue yet, but it's also not wintertime, cold enough for liquid to freeze, so we'll see how things go with it. But for now, if it works, we're gonna leave it there. And the final thing that I totally forgot about, because it's been a couple weeks for me already, is the lift axle. So my boss's thought was, how long will it really be until the axle is required to pull a load? And I think, I forget the exact numbers, but let's just say we could pull like 100 or 120,000 pounds without it. It's like, we're not gonna be pulling something that heavy anytime soon. Like, we're a small company, we don't pull giant stuff, and the company just hasn't grown to that extent yet. Now, if it does one day, by that time, he could put the axle back on, or he's gonna need a bigger trailer anyway. So for the time being, yes, the triaxle's cool and everything, but it's an extra few thousand pounds that's not needed. So sorry guys, the camera died, but what I was saying was the truck looks cool as a long tandem, so until we need the axle, it's gonna be the way it is. So I'm gonna roll the old clips for you guys, the old footage I have, and then we'll get back to today, here in a little bit after you guys catch on up with what I've done so far. Beautiful. Perfect. Look at the mess that goes behind this air tank. It's crazy. Well, now that you guys saw everything that had led up to this point with the truck, you see kind of how we got things done. I have about 20 gallons of fuel or so in the tank, and this truck did have a small fuel leak from a little rubber hose, which I haven't fixed yet, but I will be this week. So it always lost its prime if it sat for long enough, and it's been sitting probably 3 weeks, maybe a little more. So I know I'm going to be cranking it for a little bit until it catches some fuel. I'm just going to hold it to the floor and hopefully it fires up. Batteries were out of the truck for a few weeks. I just put them back in yesterday, so hopefully it'll crank long enough to get some fuel and fire. So we'll see what it does here. And yeah, let's try to start it. Nice. So, I'm glad it started. I was so close to letting off the key because I didn't want to keep running that starter, but I don't know, I had a feeling, and I was counting down the seconds of when I was going to let off, and luckily it fired. So now the question is, how much air pressure will it make? How many air leaks do I have from different lines we took off? You know, the whole PTO stuff, all those different things are disconnected, so I'm not quite sure if it's going to build enough air to move on its own. And that's why I left it jacked up, because I right now have 3 out of the 4 brakes caged. I didn't have another tool to cage the other can. So with the one still hanging up, if need be, I could drop it off the jack stands and in theory drive against that one brake. Like I should be able to drive through that one, you know, set of shoes, and I drive the truck across the yard and then it'll stop itself kind of thing. Or if I have to push it or whatever it is, or fix the air leaks and uncage the brakes. But either way, I'm gonna make that determination depending on how much air I can hold, how much it's leaking, what it's doing, all that good stuff. So I'm just gonna let it run for a while, let it warm itself up, you know, breathe a little bit, build some air, and then we're gonna go from there. I'm also excited to rev it up a little bit and hear it, because in the cab it sounds so different, because the pipe's just right there underneath the floor. So it's just the downpipe off the turbo, and that's all there is. So either way, glad it's running. I don't hear any major air leaks yet. I mean, it probably only has like 30 pounds, 40 pounds of air anyway. Yeah, we're gonna see what it can do for air and then go from there. So see if we can get this thing moved. And also to fill you guys in, it makes it a little easier for us to pick the whole back half of the truck up off the ground. I do just use an air jack on the front axle to pick the front up. But we have these straps here. They should protect the paint enough. That's how we picked it. But then I put this chain in the center, so I have another chain just like this little short one, and I'll hook that, and we'll just pick the whole truck up in one shot. And the strap shouldn't scratch the paint too bad, and that's the goal for that. So that's how we're gonna pick it up to remove it off the jack stands. Like I said, once we get the air figured out. So that's the game plan. The interior is still all apart. Nothing crazy just yet. So plenty of work to be done. Like I said, we have all the PTO stuff taken out. So as for air, we're not showing anything. So that's questionable. The question is why. So yeah, I don't know. I have some looking to do, and I'll let you guys know what I find. I don't know if you guys could tell on camera, but it's a bit smoky. There's those wildfires happening in Canada, and here in Pennsylvania we've been getting some of the smoke. It's unreal. It's a really crazy experience, but super smoky here. But anyway, I figured out my air leaks. So just for very temporary, by the way, guys, just to move this thing, I threw a little union here. So I have this little blue hose of that union, and that comes up to that guy in there. And then I got this guy on, which I don't even realize that was off, but I think the fitting's pretty rough shape because it's leaking pretty good, and they are tight. I tightened it up pretty good. But I got all those on, and then this one was off, so I got that on there. And then in the cab, I had 2 good leaks from the horn, and also from one of these, came out of this little T here. So I just ran the 2 to each other with a couple quick, you know, what's the name for them? Quick connects. I was gonna say quick release, but yeah, quick connects. Because like I said, it's very temporary, so I could take them apart and reuse them. But that way it just stops the leak. So it built air pressure, you know, right away. Cab came right up. We're holding around 100 pounds or so. Little leaks, but like I said, just to pull it across the yard, we're money. So I got all my cage tools out of the brake cans, and unfortunately we lost a little paint on that little thing there. It's so dusty, but it is very shiny. Yeah, like you can kind of see the reflection there. But yeah, either way, I got all the tools out of the cans there, and I'm getting ready to pick this thing up and put it down on the ground and try to drive it across the yard, get it out of the way. So yeah, let's get this thing slinged up and pull her off. gotta come this way a little bit. Like it? Curl it. No. Back up in case it rips. Unhook the blue hooks so they don't touch the paint. So they don't touch the paint. All that friction probably ripped the paint. Unfortunately, I didn't get the camera out to pull this thing across the yard. I was kind of caught up and had a lot going on, and I just had to move it. So sorry about that, but it wasn't a whole lot to see. I mean, I just hung out the door and stood up and pulled it across. But what I'm getting ready to do with it is, if you look at these bushings to mount the radiator, so we have those two there, but then on this side, they had to do what they had to do. So just use that piece of aluminum, and it's not really too tight, as you can see. So I went over to Mac in New Jersey near us, and I got myself, you know, the proper bushings, 2 of those, and I'm going to be swapping that out real quick. And then I also have these rollers here that go up on the hood, because as you can see, that one is gone, and that one ain't in too much better of shape. So, and then I got to put that center vent on as well. So I'm going to do that stuff now. But the other major update here that I wanted to give you guys, which I can't believe I forgot already, but I'm gonna be doing a full video on this next, but just to kind of get you guys started, is the 2 Fords, which are here, the red one and the blue one, they will both be up for sale. You know, yeah, you heard that right. They're gonna be up for sale. So he's looking, you know, I believe he said $25,000 of best offer for the red one, which is an 86 LT9000. It has a 315 big cam Cummins and a 10-speed Eaton with a wetline kit and everything. And then the blue truck, non-PTO, 84 LTL, 350 big cam with a 9-speed low hole. Both tandem axle, fairly short wheelbase, surprisingly. They both work and they both run far and all the time, so very reliable trucks. Like I said, I'll be doing a full breakdown video of both of those. And that's kind of why the sticker came about for the blue truck, was to kind of, you know, commemorate it, to saying goodbye to it and everything else. And there's more to come on that subject. So like I said, the next video will be a full video of that. So that's going to be what it is. But yeah, so let's get this radiator stuff swapped out and then go from there. Oh yeah. Man. It's easy for you guys, ain't it? All you gotta do is watch for a second. It's just nice and easy. But no, it wasn't hard. It's 1 bolt, you know, little pry bar and a little bag to try to not scratch the paint. But yeah, the hood will cover it anyway. So yeah, let me get those old rollers off and then move forward. It's always so interesting to me, you know, when you work on something that somebody else had for so long. You know, I totally get it. You know, you do what you got to do to get by and make things work. But I'm the kind of person that if I'm changing something on a hood, then I'm changing all of it. And what I mean by that is, like, they had new bolts for the front hinges. They had new latch mounts, new latches. The hinges were old, but all the hardware was new. You could see they went through it and fixed the position, because the hood was all messed up from how it was riding and sitting on the you know, the chassis, if you will, or whatever, on the cab. So why not do these two? Like these are what it rides on. Like that's so bad. I just can't understand why all that hood stuff got done and not these rollers. I mean, look at the difference. I'm gonna give you guys a clear shot here. Hopefully it focuses. Come on. There we go. Yeah, it just blows my mind like how bad they were and why they never got, you know, replaced. I mean, look at this. Like, what is going on there? It's just unreal. So either way, we got some new ones, but I'm not gonna put those on until after paint. But yeah, there was a lot of random stuff that was new on here. Like the leveling valve for the cab was all new. All the motor mount, like transmission, like all the ears, the bolts and stuff to hold that up, that's all new. Trying to think of what else, like random stuff. You know, just like good things. I mean, all good stuff, but yeah, I mean, they fixed it as they went. They did what they had to do, and I believe they inspected it properly. I'm not sure. I think they did though. 'Cause, you know, sometimes you can't. Sometimes you just get somebody to put some stickers on, you roll down the road. I mean, you gotta make it work. But yeah, we try to fix what's broken and do what's right. So either way, we're just gonna keep on keeping on and see what we can do next. So let's get to it. Well, guys, guess not too bad cleaning the carburetor because he's working. He's back there sandblasting. That'll be my boss. I don't really want to get in that mess. But yeah, I kind of got caught up and everything else and just didn't really get back to you guys. So I just wanted to finish off the video here. And like I said before, the two Fords, which are behind me, bam, they will both be for sale. Like I said, the next video will showcase all that. So the red one will be going for $25 or best offer. The blue one, I think we're looking for $35,000 or best offer. Like I said, there'll be a full breakdown video, but just to get it, you know, in your minds and get you guys going. So yeah, that's the game plan, and there's plenty more to come. So stay tuned, because I think tomorrow's Thursday, and then Friday morning I'll be on a plane to Reno to go to a show. So it's gonna be a good one. So thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.
Hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe, brother. Over and out.